Jamestown, Virginia was the first permanent and successful English settlement in the New World. It was founded by the Virginia Joint Stock Company on May 14, 1607.
Slavery began in the U.S. shortly after settlers arrived. Many believed that slaves were the only way for many settlers to survive and be able to pay for necessities. By 1700, black slaves outnumbered the number of white citizens in America. At this time, the majority of slaves worked on sugar plantations. This clip shows one of the miserable slave ship rides from Africa to America. At this time, the two major crops were tobacco and sugarcane. John Rolfe, Pocahontas' husband, created the Virginia colony's successful economy when he introduced the tobacco crop. Most tobacco was being exported into the Chesapeake. Tobacco was known as a poor man's crop because it was fairly cheap and was easy to grow. Sugar, on the other hand, was known as a rich man's crop because it required extensive care. Many slaves were brought to America specifically to harvest sugar cane. The majority of sugar cane was exported to the Caribbean.
Religious views, being a huge aspect of society, caused many people the desire to break away from the Church of England. They then created and joined many new religions, which were forbidden by the Crown. The new religions mainly consisted of Calvinism, antinomianism, and separatism. Calvinism was created by John Calvin, and it became the dominant theological credo for Puritans and also for other American settlers. Calvinism was made up of 5 points, which included total inability, unconditional election, particular redemption, irresistible grace, and perseverance of the saints. Antinomianism was strongly advocated by Anne Hutchinson. She was banished from Massachusetts Bay Colony for her extreme dedication to the Puritan doctrine of predestination. Antinomianists felt they should not follow and believe in God because they are already predestined. Puritans were known as separatists. They all seek the desire to break away from England politically and religiously. Outside of the main religions, Roger Williams built a Baptist church where he established complete freedom of religion, even for Jews and Catholics.
As time carried on, tensions began to rise between the colonies and the Crown of England. The colonies felt the growing need to break away from England. The colonies were feeling as if they were being constricted from the rest of the world due to restrictions set on them by England, such as the Navigation Acts. England, noticing the growing tensions, decided to grant the colonies with salutary neglect, which allowed them to essentially have complete freedom from England for the time being. In 1618, with hopes of populating the colonies, the idea of the headright system began. The headright system was a system that was planned to populate the colonies and solve their labor shortages. The headright system consisted of giving the new colonists land, and they had to work for farmers as indentured servants to pay off their debts, which all in all never end up being paid off, so the indentured servants die being white slaves and they never truly own their own land.
But citizens wanted to leave England so badly, it later brought about the Great English Migration. The Great English Migration occurred in a 12-year time span, from 1630 to 1642. About 70,000 refugees left England. 48,000 headed to the West Indies, while the rest went to New England and the Chesapeake.
Sometimes I get a good feeling.